Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, bitch, I'm sipping on this Henny like somebody told me not to. I do what I want, you niggas doing what you got to. Got a brand new bitch and it's not you. Put these tats on my face, ma said not cool. I got cash in the bank, I'm acting damn fool. I pull the cat out that hat like I'm Doc Seuss. East coast to the west, that's a Pac move. I gotta make it to the top, I cannot lose. I need money that look way more than decent. I be in the cut cause I be trying to duck the precinct. Fire Athena better than the Mona Lisa. Listen up real quick, I get you hip to this thesis. Keep a couple pieces of that candy, Reese's. Keep a couple straps on you handy, they creepin'. Bitch, and I know who got to work if you fiendin'. Better not act stupid though, I ride with them demons. Cállate la boca, can't you see a nigga scheming? One more shot of Henny, I'ma have that pussy leaking. I do what I wanna when I wanna and it's frequent. And I won't trust a bitch cause they always got secrets. Bitch, I'm sippin' on this Henny like somebody told me not to. I do what I want, you niggas doing what you got to. Got a brand new bitch and it's not you. Put these tats on my face, ma said not cool. I got cash in the bank, I'm acting damn fool. I pull the cat out that hat like I'm Doc Seuss. East coast to the west, that's a Pac move. I gotta make it to the top, I cannot lose.
Yo, what's good?
Yo.
It's your boy.
Gang.
It's your boy, E.B.H, Black, and your boy, the co-host, Powerball Rish. What's good, gang?
What's up with the gang, man? We blessed today, man. Welcome back, everybody, to the E.B.H Black Show with me, Powerball Rich, the co-host, and we got a special guest in attendance, a living legend on his way to bubble up like 7-Up.
That's what we do. That's what we do. We bring them living legends. You know what I mean? We bring them living legends, man. Hey, so PB, you're not co-hosting today. You gonna be you the guy today. You the guy today. you just did your first show the other day, so you gonna be the guy today too.
Man, you see how we do, man. We give each other flowers while we still breathing, sucking in there. It's all fair, baby. You already know.
That's gang. So today we're gonna talk to the innovator, man. Why don't you shout yourself out and tell the people who you is and what you do and where you're from.
Yo, what's good, man? It's the innovator. You know, I'm coming from Richmond, California, South Richmond to be exact. I would say, you know, I got some of the best interviews that you can find. My YouTube is Innovators. You type in Innovators, it'll pop up. Innovators TV, Instagram, Innovator 510. Yeah, man, just creating great content that the people can enjoy that lasts forever. That's my goal.
Amen.
So definitely we're gonna put that link in there to your page so people can subscribe to it, and then also subscribe and like onto the E.B.H Black page so we can get up. So we trying to get up there, you know what I'm saying? So
with you.
So basically, you know, I've been to your page and you have a lot of content, you have a lot of interviews, and me and PB was going back and forth about which one we thought was probably like your, what was it, like not the, to us, which one was you think your biggest interview, and to you, and the one I said was, which was one of the most slept on ones, I think, was with Freeway.
Yeah.
Freeway.
That one was
Freeway Rick. Yep.
Man.
That
one
was that was. Yeah, and then the thing, what he was talking about is that me and him was discussing between ourselves individually. I asked him, I said, what's the biggest interview he done in your eyes? And he asked me the same question. So he told me the Freeway Rick is the biggest interview to him, in his opinion. And so I looked at the numbers. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. He slept on that. But what was mine's, Black? I said T Grizzly.
Yeah. But what was you about to say about that interview?
No, I'm just saying people slept on him, you know, like I felt like that. I feel like that was like before my demographics time. Like I feel like my biggest demographic is like around, like I'm 28, but like, you know, like the people 30 and under, they might not even, they know about him, but they don't know about him like that. People that slept on that interview. To me, that was one of the most, like, that's the interview that I feel like a year from now might go viral, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's that sitting in the cut, it's just marinating and just growing. Because all it takes is something crazy to happen or something to get the attention that people start talking about them, and then it gets kicked into the algorithm, and then they start hitting your shit, and then they be like, ooh, this hidden gem, right? That's how I kind of see that one
Mm-hmm.
too. But yeah, PB, the one you said T Grizzly.
Yeah, T Grizzly. That, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying. I feel like that was like one of the
Yeah.
bigger names. You know what I'm saying, to me. You know what I'm saying. You know,
Yeah.
everybody got their own opinion, just like with the Rick Ross theme, the Freeway Rick. Shout out Freeway Rick Ross too. But
Can y'all hear me?
the thing I think, yeah, we hear you. The thing about the Rick Ross thing, in my opinion, I feel
Can
just
y'all
like,
hear me?
you know what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Can you? I don't think he can hear us. Did you push mute?
I can't hear y'all.
No, I ain't hitting mute.
Oh
I can't hear
no, you know what I think?
y'all.
Yeah, I think he got to go back out and then come back in. Let me tell him. Hold on. I'm gonna hit him on the
I
Instagram.
can't hear.
Hold on.
Uh,
He got
yo,
somebody must have called him.
I
Oh
can't hear
Somebody must
y'all.
have called him. Hey,
yeah.
bro, somebody must have been calling you. Go out, then bounce back in.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah, somebody must have called him.
I'll go out
Yeah,
then.
we.
There you go. So yeah. So the thing about it, basically, what the interview, he does a lot of interviews, and in his interviews, he go and talk to a lot of people in different hoods, and we're gonna get into that when he come back. Yeah,
Hello?
yeah. Can you hear us?
It's like slowed up. Hold
Can you hear now?
on. Hello?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You sound like it sound like you got like one of the like deep voice. I don't know. Sound weird.
Back.
Hold
Yeah, well, he don't. It's something like the connection, I guess. I don't know.
on.
Can you hear PB?
Yeah, I can hear
It
y'all.
sound like you got like a pitch shift on your voice.
Yeah, I don't know. Does it sound like that on the playback? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's see.
Was you able to hear us again?
Yeah, it sounds good on the playback. I just listened to it. But yeah. So yeah, it sounds cool. So hopefully he can get back in. But uh basically like the type of he does a lot of hood interviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically just go ahead and like break it down like what he does. What he do.
Yeah, my earpods. But yeah, he do like one of the interviews that I saw that he done was for it was somebody actually it was Bris and G-Man. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Bris. Shout out to G-Man. You know, both from Sacramento artists that linked up to do a little album together. You know what I'm saying? And that was the first interview I seen of him. That was like a year ago, like a little over a year ago, and damn near 2 years. But I'm a Bris fan. You know what I'm saying? You know that, like I slap Bris. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got turned on to his channel because he did an interview with Bris. So I watched that whole interview and then I was tripping. I was like, damn, man, ain't nobody really rocking like this dude. Like, usually Vlad wait till you blow up. Usually, other people wait till you blow all the way up. But he show stopping. You know what I'm saying? Before the dudes get to the corner, you know what I'm saying, and get known, he running down the street and cutting them off. Like, hey man, let me holler at you real quick before you get down there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I noticed about him. And that's what made me admire him. Feel me? And damn near adore what the fuck he's doing. Feel me? Because I feel like how can people even get that opportunity to be exposed and heard if nobody is giving them the chance? Like you gotta wait till they surface above water till they pop their head up, and then everybody can see what he doing. He's diving in with his scuba gear and hollering, doing interviews under the water. So by the time they pop their head up, man, it's all good and it's all said and done. And his content is on fire. So if y'all ain't onto it, man, get onto it, because just like last week he was at 22,000 subs. This week he had 33,000. So it's working.
Nah, for
So
real.
so what got you started, bro?
For real, to be my mom. So it's like a crazy story. My mom was in radio her whole life, pretty much. She wasn't doing on air shit, but like, she was the first person that like brought me in to see like radio studios and whatnot. And I always wanted to be on air with radio. So that was like what kind of sparked the interest. And so when I got done with college, before I got done, I was interning with the LA Lakers. So that's Power 106. That's like a
Yeah, that's
big radio
big.
show in LA. So I interned with them for damn near 2 years, right? And so the whole time I'm there, I'm like, damn, like they keep bringing in a lot of LA talent, and I was like, damn, it would be tight if somebody was doing this for the Bay. So when I graduated, whatever, I ended up getting a job at a radio station called Dash Radio. So when I got there, they pretty much told me like, they was like, first I started doing a sports show, but it was kind of hard always getting athletes to pull up. I feel like athletes are some of the hardest people to get in for an interview for some reason. I don't know why. They got more of a schedule and shit, I feel like. But one of my homies, he actually a Oakland rapper. His name's C5. So he from North Oakland. So C5 was the first person that I ever interviewed, and he was really just like, bro, like I've been trying to get the Dash Radio. I think you'll be good at doing interviews. Like fuck with me. And so I we kept going back and forth about it because I really did want to interview rappers at first. I don't know why, I just wasn't really trying to get into it or whatever. But when I ended up interviewing C5, I kind of was like, damn, I actually really like this. And then from there, it
Mm-hmm.
kind of just you started with that one. Excuse me. Of course, I was interviewing like a lot of people that you might have not heard of or known, and then I started, I was like, man, I need to utilize my connections and utilize who I know. And so I would say things changed for me in 1 week because I had knew I am Sue from my past. So I had tapped in with him. And then, because I had seen, it was crazy. It was a week in LA that I am Sue, All Black, and Rex Life Raj had a show in LA. So I reached out to all three of them to try to get an interview, but I ended up not getting Rex Life Raj, but I got All Black and I got I Am Sue. I did them in the same week. So when I did that, at that time, All Black was like the most bubbling rapper in Oakland. So everybody was like, damn, like who is this dude? Because it was just nobody was really interviewing Bay rappers. They were, but not like a young nigga. Like I was like what 24 at the time, 23.
Right.
Like it was just different. Like you had the KBLs, like you had some of like that's really like what it was at that time. Like you had the KBL, but like you said, until you really blew up or until you got a hot song, you wasn't really gonna get that KBL interview.
Mm-mm.
So you had to like,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, that's kind of like what started like the whole thing. Like that day or that week was kind of like a big jump for me because it's like you got the Dash Radio shit having like a place to do the interviews kind of made it more validated, like, and then it really once you get some solid people, you really pretty much can. At that point, it depends on what you do with it. Because if once I got like a little attention, I was like, well, that's all I needed. Like, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Mm.
That's what I was gonna ask you. So like,
Mm.
it seemed like you have a lot of people that come through, like, and then it kind of started, like you said, from C5, and then kind of start rolling downhill from there. And so now that a couple people pull up, is it like are you basically saying it gets easier for people to have the the notion to come and jump on your show?
Of course, you feel me? Your catalog of who you interview definitely helps who you can bring on, because when I was starting out, you feel me, I would ask certain people to come on, they wouldn't hit me back, and I didn't take it personal. That was like one of the biggest things that I was learning, getting into the interview shit, was like, man, you never know what somebody going through. Don't take it personal. Like, everybody got their own program. There's people still right now who feel like, I might not want to pull up on them. You feel me? Like, there's people, and this is what it is. People might be like, he only got 33,000. When he get 100,000, I pull up. You feel me?
Right.
And I don't take it personal. I keep that shit in mind. Don't get it twisted. But like,
Right.
at the end of the day, it just kind of is what it is. But catalog, how you interview, you feel me? All that kind of comes into play, because even right now, there's certain people that might not want to do an interview with me because they know I'm gonna be asking shit that the radio might not ask, or that, like, I'm not gonna ask it. I'm gonna ask it in my way, but like, it might be a little controversial. Some people might not want to answer them questions, so they like, well, shit, I'm not gonna go pull up on that nigga, because
You're gonna
I'm
push
a
the
nigga.
line.
At the end of the day, they don't want to tell me that. They don't really even want to tell me, like, yeah, I don't want to come because I don't want to talk about this, because then that make them look some type of way.
Right. And yeah, with
Mm-hmm.
that, and that brings to a good point, because one of the main questions I have before I let PB really take over is like there was a YouTuber in Chicago, Zach TV. And
Yeah,
so when you getting close to the hood and when you in the streets, because like the cameos and all that, you only gonna get certain
Rest in peace.
you only yeah,
Rest in
rest
peace,
rest in
Zach.
peace,
you only gonna
rest in
get
peace.
some kind of politically correct conversation. But what people really get tuned into is what's really on the streets, how you keep your ears to the streets. And so when you ask these questions and you go to like maybe someone that's not friendly towards each other, how do you approach that, being that you gonna push the line and sometimes ask those controversial questions, or do you just not address it at all?
See, that's actually a great question. So for me, it's a case by case basis. So you gotta gauge who you talking to, gauge, like, if you really know like what's going on. Sometimes you gotta really dive into it. Like, is this a street beef or is this a rap beef? You feel me? Is niggas dying about this, or is it just niggas going back and forth on the song? Then I also look and see, like, have other people asked about this? How did they respond to it? So like, my prime example when I always think about this shit is Vlad. When people go on Vlad, they already know if they got some shit going on, he gonna ask about it. So that was my first thing I always took into consideration. So now you look into it, Vlad is a white dude. I'm a nigga, like you said. I really be outside. So it's kind of like, some lines you can cross, some lines you can't cross. So for example, when I interviewed CML, I didn't really want to push on the talk about Mozzie shit. What about Mozzie shit? But it's like, because at the end of the day, the reality is, me doing that might potentially even fuck up me interviewing Mozzie, if I'm just getting, like, I feel like that was my first opportunity with CML to really, people, you can look at the comments of the CML interview. They will say that's the best CML interview, because it was just about him. It wasn't really just about like, well, why you beefing with, what's up with the beef? But it's like, that's a real beef though. I think that beef is outside the music. You feel me? And then
Right.
you go look, for example,
Yeah.
Filthy and Mozzie. Like, I knew that
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be that bad for me to ask about that. This songs have been put out. Um, so I mean, that beef is kind of brought to the public eye. You feel me? So if there's some shit that
Mm-hmm.
is all the way out there, but like, for instance, when CML went on Vlad, he asked about it. But I mean, CML had to know what he went on, even though different. They asked about it, but like, we know what's going on. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
finna glorify that situation.
Repeat.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
so like
You're not
for,
gonna repeat. Yeah, you're not gonna keep repeating the question.
yeah, like,
So
we
that's
know what the fuck is going on.
So that's pretty good though, because you're doing something that like a lot of journalists or people in the media don't do, is take responsibility or look at the responsibility of what the outcome could be of having said interviews. Because like you said, you look at the situation case by case, right? And say,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? We heard about this bubbling in the street, so we gonna leave that in the street. But if this is an industry type beef, then we gonna talk to it to the level that we know it at, and then go from there, instead of just saying, hey, this is something going on, let's just throw it all in one big pot. So I shout you out for doing that, because I don't that's the integrity of the game. Because I always had a question: how do we how can we report what's in the street without glorifying it? And I think you hit a really good point there.
Yeah, like you gotta.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because the fans, they want me to be controversial as hell, and I'm like, bro, like at the end of the day, like I still gotta walk around by myself, conduct myself as a man out here. Like I'm not gonna be putting myself in hella situations where it's just all bad. I gotta be in the house because I done stirred up so much shit in the streets where it's like now everybody like, damn, like bro, like what you doing? Like now people look at because you
Negative
gotta think,
vibrations. That you
go
trying to
ahead.
avoid negative vibrations.
Of course, but I mean, y'all black men just like me. Y'all know it's certain shit that we can't get away with that a white interviewer can get away with, and
Facts.
that's always my
Facts.
point with this shit. It's
Yeah.
kind of like certain shit
Facts.
Vlad and Adam can get away with, or DJ Small Eyes can get away with, or whatever, whoever the is. I can't do that. I'm gonna get looked at differently. Like
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
I've had conversations with artists about it. Like it is what it is. Like I said, somewhere like
But
academics. Go ahead.
yeah, but you know what I like about you, brother?
What's good?
Is that man, watch this. What I like about you is that like you did the inter how I was a how I got on to you was through Bris, because I was Bris is my favorite rapper. So
Yeah,
Bris brought me to you, and when I watched that interview, I was like, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? I seen how you was respectfully, but at the same time, it was kind of gangish. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too square. You feel me?
yeah,
It was a balance. You feel me?
yeah.
Like you wasn't getting involved into their little activity stuff, but you would ask the certain questions and then kind of like keep yourself in a journal type of, you know what I'm saying, point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like you said, if you was to join sides or start acting like you like their stories too much, like you intrigued by whoever they got funk with or whatever, that you being black, they gonna pull you into that. That's what you was talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm black. I can't be
Nah,
like
bullshit.
I can't be biased. I gotta be non-biased. I gotta be like open-eared, open-minded to these people's issues in the streets. So that's what I like about you. And you right. If 22 or Vlad or any other of those non-black, you know what I'm saying, interviewers did that, they wouldn't get pulled into choosing sides. They would just get looked at like, oh, they asked a normal question. But you, if you was to like lean and kind of giggle or, look like you intrigued by what they talking about when they talking about they so-called ops, you know what I'm saying? The oppositions, you will get looked at like you chose a side. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like, how you stay out of that.
And
And
the,
and
and the,
also, and also
like
I want
go
to bring this point up real quick. I do off your show, I came to realize that all this beef between artists, that stuff it don't make any sense. You made it not make sense because here you can interview Lavish D, here you can interview uh Uzi Marcus. These are sworn mortal enemies.
nah,
Like
real
bro,
shit.
you putting people in chairs that if they was there at the same time, it would be some up going smoke. The Up and
People,
Smoke tour will be up again. You feel me? So
hey, that's some true shit that you said. And people always be like, "How you able to do this?" And that's I gotta manage who coming at what day, at what time, give them enough time to get out the area before that other person get in the area. I gotta keep all that shit in mind. Like,
Excuse me.
because at the end of the day, that's where I conduct my place. It's my place of business. Like, I already know. Like, if these two people here at the same time, shit might go up. Like, not even might, it will. Like, but
Right.
to go back to the Bris thing, the crazy thing about when I interviewed Bris was at that time, only Sacramento rapper I had interviewed prior to Bris and G-Man was Shooter Gang Coney. At that time, I was not knowledgeable of any of the beefs at all that was going on in Sacramento. Like I said, I'm from the Bay. I wasn't really like if you go look at my first Shooter Gang Coney interview, I didn't ask him about no politics because I wasn't aware of him. It wasn't until like after the Briss interview, people like I had got a lot of fan base from Sacramento, and people started really putting me on. I'm like, wait, it's a lot of shit going on out here. Like, and then of course when Briss passed away, I had got on the news. The news reached out to me to talk about Briss.
Yeah,
And
wait, hold on. Don't get there yet. We got to save that. We got to save that. You're going too far. But now, since you brought it up,
Hold
let me
on.
wind them up to it. So,
Hold on, PB. Let me hit this question. I mean, this statement
okay.
coming by Copa. She said, "You always have to be neutral too. Having a show or a podcast, being a photographer, doing PR, videographer, we all have to play neutral roles when we are in the public. And yeah, and ideally, you do want to have to play as neutral as you can. But we're all humans too, so that's that fine line that you got to tote. So." But you definitely got to have that in mind that you try to stay neutral, but sometimes shit just spills over.
hmm But see, the way he do it, like, is differently. Like when Vlad be doing it, I be seeing Vlad be getting a little blowback. You know what I'm saying? Like they be saying like Vlad be picking sides or you know what I'm saying, little stuff like that. But the way he get down, this brother right here, man, he's straight up the middle, bro. And like he said, he was unaware when he interviewed Coney. Shout out to Coney, you know what I'm saying? When he Shooter Gang Coney, when he interviewed him, he was unaware, unbeknowing of the Sacramento politics and funk they had. And then he said after he interviewed Briss, that's when they start hitting him in the comments and putting him on game. And then he said, "Oh, it's a whole ass war out there." You know what I'm saying?
like
So
yeah, like it's real shit.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was saying that I want to give you your props for the way that you brought, like you the way you exposed that. Yeah, these people got beef, but look how I got them sitting in the same chair. You feel me? So it's not only you that made me recognize that. Also, these videographers, these guys that shoot videos. These guys be shooting videos for one guy and then turn around the next week shoot a video for their op. You feel me? So it's
Yeah.
really the same camera shooting these mortal enemies like you got mortal enemies sitting in the same chair. So what that is showing y'all is that this is art. This is not real life. Stop applying real life to this art called music. If it's music, keep it music. If y'all have funk in the streets, and then y'all start doing music, yeah, it might be a little different. That's how the Mozzie and CML situation is. They had funk in the streets before the music really got popping. But now that the music is popping, it should be a way to say, like, hey, you know what? We got an outlet, brothers. Let's stop the violence in the streets, and then we can keep it going like banging on wax. You feel me? Let's take it back to the '90s and just do banging on wax and keep it like a competitive, you know what I'm saying, type of musical sport. But they don't see that, you know what I'm saying? And like when you do them interviews, it made me see that some way, somehow, man, we need to come together as a black people because rappers is dying at a 60% rate. You feel me? Like it's a hazardous job. And that's what's going to bring us to the next topic about Bris. So what I'm saying is that if we could come together as a black people and try to figure out how to keep the music on the music, and if y'all got beef in the streets and y'all doing music, then there should be some kind of mutual respect, saying like, "Hey, let's give each other an opportunity to get up out this gang shit." You know what I'm saying? Let's give each other an opportunity to make some money, not give each other an opportunity to get rich and famous and then shoot each other because it's not working. You feel me? Only people that's getting rich off that is the people who ever run the algorithm, and it's not black people.
Straight up.
So that's what I wanted to say.
Nah, that's
That's what I
real. That's
want to
real.
say.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's
But
real shit. Nah, for sure.
I wanted to ask you, like, now you fall into this, what I was just talking about. You a victim of this. Okay. You interview Bris. And then how long first of all, I want to ask you this before we even get to that part. When you interview Bris and G, man, um, how was Bris' character and stuff, man? Because I'm a fan of Bris and still is. Was how was he? Because they, the media, the YouTube media, try to say he was a funny guy. He was he was cool. He was kind of like a baby Mac Dre from Sacramento. So you met the young bull. Like, how did he come off to you?
Man, I actually got a funny story about that day. So, see that interview at that time they had just released the 1042 project through Thizzler. So my people at Thizzler had reached out to me like, "Hey, can you interview them?" At the time, I really didn't know too much about them, but I had listened to their project and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Damn, this shit kind of not." I was like, so that day, this is a true story. Whoever at Thizzler set up the interview told them like noon, but I told them 3 o'clock. So they waited for me outside the studio for 3 hours before I got there. When I got there, I was
Mm-hmm.
playing that music, and when I pulled up, they had started dancing because I was playing their song, butt naked. So I was already like, the interview was already good. So then I hopped out, even though they had waited on me for 3 hours. But they were super cool. Like they had their folks with them. I remember very distinctly because I interviewed them on it was a Saturday, I mean a Sunday, and so it was the summertime, and at that time it was a lot of day parties going on in LA. I didn't realize how young they was. I think at the time Briss had just turned 21. So he was like, "What you about to do after this? Take my number. I'm trying to party in LA." I don't think I ended up going out that day, but like he gave me his number, and we had kind of stayed cool the whole time. But he had ended up getting locked up. But that interview didn't come out for months because if you watch it, there's a part where I asked them, "Is there any advice or whatever?" And they like read everything. They're like read everything before you sign it. And it was kind of a little situation with Thizzler because they kind of felt like they were talking about them, like in a sense. They never told me they was talking about Thizzler, but it was kind of like assumed that's what they was talking about. So like they
Mm-hmm.
wanted me to take that part out. My whole thing is when it comes to taking a part of an interview out, if the artist tells me to take it out, outside person is saying take it out or like a management label, I'm always gonna be like, man, I don't know. Like I told them, I was like, look, if they say they want it out, I'll take it out. But if they say no, I can't. With all due respect, I can't take this shit out. Like I can't. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
respect the artists like that. But they didn't want that shit out. But I was like, look, that's just good advice in general. A lot of times they
Mm-hmm.
catch young black niggas because they're not reading shit. Ain't nobody reading the shit for them. So yeah, I felt like that was good advice. But before you sign
Yeah.
anything, you definitely got to read that shit. Unless you making the contract.
Right.
So overall, so overall, your experience with Bristol that day was pretty cool. Like, he didn't give you
Me
like
and
no vibes to where
I didn't even.
what I'm saying.
I
He didn't
thought
give
they
you.
was regular kids from Sacramento. I didn't know they had no issues with nobody. Me and Briss really became good friends after that because after he got out of jail. That next time we would talk probably like once a week, not even about just about music, about what his plans were. Like he was on probation. And this is like I believe the week Briss died, I talked to him that week because we were about to do another interview that ended up never we never ended up being able to do. But like when I go through our text conversation, I got like a 30 questions that I sent to him that I was like, yeah, bro, I'm about to ask you these. And he texted me back like, he was like, damn, that's hella questions. But it was all things that I had learned about him since we did the last interview.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
it
So
was
it
going,
had to be a follow up.
but if you watch the first interview, it wasn't political to the sense where he brought up anybody's name. And so my thing has always been my platform. If I interview somebody and they pass away, if they not talking about nobody or dissing nobody, I'm not about to have nobody come on my shit and after they did and they can't speak on nothing, talking bad about them. So like
Exactly.
that goes into the Uzi Marcus interview. I knew when I did that interview, a lot of people probably wouldn't be happy about that because you got to look at my catalog. I've interviewed Mac J. I've interviewed Slowby. I've interviewed a lot of people that are on the Bris side. Jock, like all them niggas are tied into Bris. You feel me? Even I got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of subscribers from interviewing Bris. But like if you watch the
Mm-hmm.
Uzi Marcus interview, towards the end it got a little heated because he felt like I was picking sides because or showing favoritism, he said, because I told him, I was like, look, bro, we can do the interview, but I don't want to make it about your beef with Briss or talk about Briss similar to what they did on No Jumper. I'm like, you feel me? Like people don't know that, but when Briss passed away, all the money I made from that video, I donated, I gave to his mama, gave to the family. So it's kind of like it's
Mm-hmm.
more of a respect thing. But like,
Mm-hmm.
but and I talked to Uzi Marcus. I mean, if you whoever watches it, you can go see. But like, basically, it was just like it's not no favoritism, but like it's just a respect thing with me. Like, I wouldn't let somebody
Yeah.
do that to you if you're not talking about nobody. I'm not gonna let them come up here and diss you after you passed away or whatever the case is, maybe. Like, it just gotta. I feel like with the
Mm-hmm.
media shit, like as a black man, you gotta have some type of structure to your shit. If you just come in and let everybody say anything, niggas have died. People, that's a real sensitive subject, like. And
Yeah.
that's what I
That bring
told him.
that yeah, that bring me to my next question too. Like after you got to know Briss, I'm glad I asked that first one. You got to know him. He's a cool cat from your understanding, smooth young nigga. You feel me? Honorable young cat because he didn't diss nobody in that interview that you did with him.
No,
So
he did it.
how was it? How was it for you? Oh no, actually, I want to ask this question first, and then the next one. How long after y'all did that interview did Briss uh did Briss get brutally murdered like that? Like we all seen it on the internet. You feel me?
Um,
Uh, how long after that? And also, how did it affect you when you received the news? Like, how did your heart, your mind, and your spirit, your soul? Like, tell me how you felt.
oh, yep. So I would say probably like maybe like a several months or maybe like 5 6 months. I'll have to go look at the date that I dropped it. But even the date that I dropped that
Wow.
interview, it had been sitting for about 3 months before I dropped it. So
Yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
it
That's
was
what you
all the
said.
it was all the stipulations about take this part out, take that part out. But in all in all, I just ended up dropping it like it was. But to be honest, bro, the way I found out of when he passed, um, YouTube, the comments just said RIP, RIP. And I'm like, this is like in the early morning. I was looking at all the YouTube comments because they come to my phone. Until I recently had to cut it off because I'm like, man, I'm getting annoyed seeing what people talking about. But I click on the comments. I'm like, what the? I thought it was a joke. So I hit bro up. I'm like,
Hmm.
yo, what's up? He didn't respond. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm hitting everybody, and then I remember I posted some, and then people was telling me like he not gone yet, but then eventually he had passed. But then Mac J had reached out to me, and this is kind of probably after all the. I think he hit me up after the new shit came out, but He was just like, Bris really fucked with you, and I fuck with you. Like, you feel me? It's all love on our side. But it was tough though, you know, because I really felt like Bris had his own wave, and I really felt like he was gonna be big. And just talking to him, because like on some real shit, like I would ask him like, why y'all doing so with this person? He'd be like, man, politics, bro. Like I can't do it. Like he never held me to that standard. Like, oh, like don't ask me about this person because of their politics. He knew I ain't from SAC. I'm not involved in that shit. I don't. And that's the thing that I want to
Mm-hmm.
always would like to say. Like as an interviewer, like with me personally, like personally, I don't really care about the beefs. They don't affect my daily life. If I do ask you about the beef, it was because either I know they want me to ask about it, or it's already in public. So it's like, if it's already on the net, I don't see why I couldn't ask about it. But like, even if it's on the net, sometimes I'll be like, it's no, I don't really want to go into that. But like, at the end of the day, like that nigga never was like politicking with me. Like, I don't fuck with them niggas, don't fuck with this person. He never was on that shit with me. And nobody ever really been on
Yeah.
that with me, to be honest. I knew maybe certain people, motherfuckers might not like it, but like I can't run my program thinking about what people would like and what they don't like. As long as niggas ain't disrespecting
Mm-hmm.
you, it shouldn't really be no problem, you know?
So when did you realize it was true though? And then tell me how you felt. Like, was it the video you seen going viral on the net when him running and
Man,
stuff
I
and trying to
didn't
get away?
it was before all that. I feel like somebody from the family had DM'd me and just kind of confirmed it. I remember I had talked to his mom. I got connected with his mama, and somebody confirmed it with me. Then I had made a post on my gram after they confirmed it, but like they pretty much said, like as they said, he was pronounced dead at the scene. Of course, they probably tried to bring
Yep.
him back, but like that shit was crazy. But that shit was heartbreaking for real. Like it just
Yeah, man.
that
Yeah,
was the
man.
first person I ever interviewed. The reason that Bris situation will always it would nobody's situation I feel like will ever hit the same as Bris hit me because that was the first person that I interviewed that ever passed away. You feel me? That like
Oh, the
that's
impact.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's
crazy
why
to
the
think
impact
about
is
it.
different. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
crazy to think about. Like I never when I got into interviewing rappers, that was something that people was like, you might want to be cool. Like it's a dangerous game. You feel me? You don't want to get it would take a toll on you. Like that shit was crazy. Like I would have never
Yeah.
I would have never imagined no shit like that. But you would never forget the first person you was interviewing that passed away, and the way he passed away, you feel me? Like his life was taken. It wasn't like you feel me. It wasn't like he just died
Mm.
naturally or some shit. Like that nigga was slain in the streets, and it's like, yeah, bro, was a street rapper. So like, even what I said on the news, just because someone's a street rapper don't mean they street all the time. Like that don't mean you're not a family
Yeah.
man. That don't mean you don't have a good heart. Like some niggas, and what I
Yeah.
realized even with doing the interviewer, a lot of niggas, don't get me wrong, some niggas choose to be in the streets, and that's a different lane. Some niggas just born into it. Like they don't really got
Mm.
no option. Like he was a
Mm-hmm.
good dude, regardless inside of all that shit. That shit was tough, bro. That was the first dude I interviewed that ever passed away. And I know we talked that week, and like we had plans. Like I wanted Bris to come to LA more and try to help my connections to help that nigga. Like he was that
Yeah.
was when he died. He was my favorite NorCal rapper for sure. I'll say that.
At the time he was mine too. And that brings me to like to say like if I posted Briss when he passed. I post because I'm cool with his family too. You know what I'm saying? I know his cousin. And like I posted Briss on my page, on my IG, you know what I'm saying, when he passed. And JT the bigger figure, shout out JT the bigger figure. He seen that post and he went on there and he was like, he gave up the arm, the strong arm, like, man, one love, young player. And then he was like, man, he had said like, man, keep moving or doing your thing. And so I hit JT the big figure back and said, nah, big bro, he got killed last night. And he was like, what? He was like, yeah. He said, oh, I thought he was from Richmond and so that's not. Nah, he from Sac, and I'll tell you, he from Fruit Ridge. You know what I'm saying? And I was just, he didn't know nothing about Bris. So
Yeah.
after I put him up on game, he went and did a little. He went live and talked about it. And then he was talking about, he's like, yeah, my Richmond partner turned me on to this Bris cat. You feel me? He was hard. Like I seen him on this thing talking about stepper, real stepper. So that let me know. This JT talking. He's like, that let me know that he was in the streets and he was active. Then JT went on to say that, and this is true. When you got young Brisses out there, young prominent rappers that's about to bubble up like 7 Up, either his close friends, family, or OGs need to pull him to the side and say, hey, bro, you moving, you need to start moving a little better now. You feel me? Because I don't think that Briss really fathomed how big he was, how
Nah.
big he
Yeah.
was, and like because listen, I think it just hit him too quick, and he blew up fast. Right after you interviewed him, it wasn't no time, bro. It wasn't no
Yeah.
time. Right after you interviewed him, bro, he went up. He went all the way up. Like you said, he got locked up, and he was going up from right there. But when he got out, you know what I'm saying, it was already set. He was already famous. So,
Yeah.
I be in Sac a lot. You know what I'm saying? So what I heard went down, he was at the gas station on the south side. You feel me? He seen some cats that he didn't like, and then he kind of like, didn't like it, so he tried to get out of that situation. But he had left one of his securities. You know what I'm saying? So when he got out that situation, I guess unfortunately dudes entailed him and followed him, and then boom bam, R.I.P. Bris, and shout out to Mac J. You know what I'm saying? I know he going through it, and condolences to his whole family, bro. But you know what I'm saying? It just shows you that he was too famous, you know what I'm saying, for his own understanding. You know what I'm saying? So
Nah,
rappers
and
out
so,
there that's go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, you right though, because last time I talked to him, he pretty much, because I everybody parole should be different, or their probation, whatever shit different. He couldn't go within 50 miles of his like designated address or whatever. So bro really couldn't go too far. He really couldn't even go. He could barely go to Oakland. Like so,
Yeah,
you got like to me, it like yeah, he definitely could have been moving differently. Like he could have, like I mean, he's still a young nigga though. Like you feel me? Like you know how young niggas are. They like to be outside. They want to do shit. I think we got to look at
mm-hmm.
the parole and probation system too, because okay, if we just gonna be technical, we a known gang member, a rapper, but a known gang member, a known politicker. Why are y'all leaving him in a 50-mile radius of all the shit that's going on right there? It's almost like y'all want something to happen. Y'all saying you can't leave
Yeah,
the war zone.
yeah. Because I heard he wanted to move to L.A. I heard he wanted to move to L.A. and his
For sure.
probation was like, nah.
For sure he wanted
Yeah,
to get out. But and like I believe if he would have moved to LA or moved to, he could have moved to fucking the Bay. Like anything would have been better than living
yeah,
in Sac. You feel me? Like
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're
all
right.
your enemies is right
You're right.
around you. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
somebody definitely should have. Even recently, I had did a little blood interview. I dropped a clip with Lil
Mm-hmm.
Blood saying he was like, look, he said Briss was wrong. He was the next Mozzie. You feel me? And not even saying they sound the same, but like next to blow out a sack or like a big level. And Lil Blood tied in with Mozzie. So that was big for him to say that, And that always let me know that
Exactly.
when I fuck with Lil Blood, even for the first Lil Blood interview I did, Lil Blood always had his own mind. So like the fact that he said that, and like like you on my shit, niggas don't shit they say will probably go viral. A lot of people will see what you say on my platform. So like I said, some niggas will watch what they say. But when Lil Blood said that, I looked at him differently because he could have been like, nah, I don't wanna fuck shit up with what I got going on. You feel me? I'm a this, but he kept it real, like, and he told the truth. He was like he
Yeah,
was the next rapper to blow out a sack. Like, if you was paying attention
yeah,
to that scene, you know that. Like,
yeah, yeah. So I
So
brought EBH.
yeah, hold on. What you about
Yeah,
to
I
say?
was on. I brought I told E.B.H. Black about you, right? So I'm like, hey, this cat right here, innovator, he doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? I admire what he doing. I adore everything he got going on. So I was telling Black how how you lock in with people. Black, what you want? What you got something to ask me? Because I know you in the background. Me and him, then chopped it up 30 damn minutes. I know you got something to say. So
No, I was just wondering, who who haven't you interviewed or sat down with that you would like to sit down with?
That's a good question. So like I would say, I like the E. I was actually supposed to interview E40 one day, but it ended up getting canceled. But the E40s, the Two Shorts, like the Snoop Dogs, Mozzie for sure, Larry June, G Easy,
Yeah,
um, Rex Life Ross. Even we went to high school together. That was gonna happen. So the interview shit, it's just always turning. Like, everybody be having their life going on. Some people want to do interviews around their projects. Some people don't care. Kaylani, for sure. Her, her is amazing. She is so dope. I want to interview her. Um,
hmm
who else? Who else I want to interview? I'm trying to think outside the Bay. Rest in peace, Draco. We were supposed to do an interview, but like
oh man, yeah.
we were supposed to do one. I'll interview shit, YG, Blueface. Who else popping from that? Like shit, a dream interview would be Kendrick. I know y'all seen the Super Bowl.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah,
Dre and shit.
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
man.
good.
Honestly, bro, Wiz Khalifa, it's really no limit. Like that was why I created the name Innovators. I didn't want nobody to kind of box me in with nothing. So like shit, anybody can get it. It's just about building them connections. Like I, getting the person to the studio. Like it's
Right.
easy, but that can be the hardest part too. Getting that connection.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably like
me and EVA. Oh, go ahead.
no, that's probably the
I was
hardest.
going. I was going. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just before I forget. I was just going to tell him. Me and EVH Black can probably line up that Larry June thing. You feel me through my big cousin Black C. You feel me? So
Yeah,
I put that in play for you. Go ahead,
yeah,
Black.
that'll be a good one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got you. Black C, my big cousin.
Yep,
yeah. So where do you see your platform in about a year from now?
man. My goal for this year is to get over 50K subs.
Okay.
Start dropping new
Hmm
content. So like freestyles. I want to get into like some food type content because I'm a foodie. I'm a big dude. I like to eat different shit. So I want to do that. Just keep making it things new and fresh. Sometimes I might even need to take a week or two off interviewing because like I talk about daily shit, real life shit going on. Sometimes I gotta go live a little to have some more shit to talk about. So it just
Right.
everything don't sound the same. But when I started doing this, I felt like it's something I could do for the rest of my life, and I still feel that way. So shit, 5 years from now, I'm still gonna be doing this, and it's gonna be bigger and better. Like, but the thing about I'm always gonna pay homage to the Bay and give the Bay Area my platform because you know the Bay don't really like we got like a Thizzler and we got like a lot of up and coming platforms, but like I feel like we need a platform for us, by us. You feel me? Like, and
yeah,
that's been my
yeah,
goal from the jump with this, just to make it like something that no matter what, because the thing I always feel like about these bigger platforms is they only fuck with you while you hot. If you're not
Right.
hot, they don't give a fuck about you no more. We got you while you was hot.
yeah.
If you ain't hot, go fuck with somebody else. I just want to create a space
hmm
where like it don't matter how hot you are at that time. It's about getting your story out there.
Right, right. And YouTube is a real good platform for that because you can create a platform and then if you get the plugs together and you have them come in and then eventually it's going to catch on cuz you're like we're just starting and you saying your goal is like 50,000, and you at what 30 something now, right? Because once you hit like
Yeah.
25 or something, really 10, it start kind of snowballing, right? And then
Nah, for sure.
all it takes is for you to hit that good interview or somebody see something and something get popular, and then you on another wave. So I'm thinking you're gonna get there fairly shortly. I'm thinking you're gonna do it before the end of the summer, actually. So shout out to that.
I
I'm gonna
appreciate it.
speak that into existence because you know that it's a lot of hard work that people don't get to see, and doing interview style is hard. And you say you're the innovator, you don't want to get boxed into nothing because on our show we talk about life stuff too. So we want you to jump in and come just talk some like real life shit, not just interview stuff. I'm talking about just stuff that we go through as black men, and also trying to be entrepreneurs and maneuvering in this new modern space when it comes to these women, and stuff like that. So we talk about a lot of stuff. So you can jump down
Nah,
anytime,
sure.
bro. The invitation is definitely open from us for sure.
Nah, I appreciate it,
Hey,
man.
what
Thank
what
you.
advice what advice would you give to a up and coming YouTuber that just started his channel today and trying to get in an algorithm like you, like no matter what what he talking about, what are you doing, just YouTubing period. What advice would you give to a young YouTuber or OG YouTuber?
The best advice I always give is to like map out what your niche is and attack that niche hella hard. So like, but even so like, and then consistency. So like with me, I stacked before I ever dropped the interview on YouTube. I stacked up just so I could be consistent. So like the first interview I ever put on my YouTube was T Grizzly. That I had about at that time maybe 25 to 30 interviews unreleased that I stacked up before I started doing YouTube because I wanted to be consistent with it. But so having like you gotta put like a plan together, really what you want to do. But like people don't know the first interview that kind of went viral for me, which was viral for me back then, was only 10,000 views. Was I interviewed Troy Ave, random shit,
Hmm.
and that was the first interview that went viral. So it really wasn't even a Bay Area interview that went viral for me at first. But like I built my niche really stronger on Instagram first, but just showing how love to the Bay. And then the YouTube shit, like you gotta get really, I mean, you gotta be consistent, but you gotta find people that make that algorithm move for real. Like before you can just
Yeah,
make it move on your own channel, like you gotta find people that people want to hear talk, and that can
yeah,
be the easiest and the hardest thing to do.
yeah. People
Or
like
you just
yourself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, talk about you gotta talk about shit that people want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So tell the people where they can link up with you at.
Instagram is at Innovator 510. YouTube is Innovators TV. I've been trying to upload new content. I'm now what I'm doing is I'm cutting up all my old interviews. People probably seen. I'm cutting up all the old interviews and making them into clips. Like the juiciest parts of the interview, I'm making it into clips because I was actually interviewing LaRussell, and he was telling, we was talking, and he was like, "Man, you got 3 years worth of interviews. You ain't never thought about like resurfacing some of those clips because some of that shit might go viral now that you got more of a following." And I'm like, damn, like I was already planning on doing that, but he kind of lit the fire to be like, yeah, like damn, I do got hundreds of interviews. Like, why would I not make them into clips? You feel me? And we seen people do that from like Vlad number one, No
Yeah,
Jumper, Say Cheese. Everybody take them clips, and some of them 2 minute, 3 minute clips might get you your first million views. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah.
definitely
I,
bring
if
it.
you got a
I, I,
45-minute video, you might want to break some of some of the best parts in there and make a clip about it.
Yeah, it definitely brings traffic.
yeah.
It can definitely bring traffic to your page. But yeah, we
No,
I,
definitely
facts.
I just want to. Oh, go ahead. Go.
no
I
go
wanted to
ahead.
ask you something before you cut the show, Black. I just want to ask you. It's a YouTuber right now. The whole world going crazy for. I mean, they going Crip Mac crazy. I seen you dealt
Yeah,
with Crip Mac.
yeah.
Hey man, how's that experience, man? What's up with bruh, man?
Man, Crip back, he was a cool dude. You feel me? I feel like a little misunderstood. But that interview was fucking crazy. That's a whole nother 10-minute story about that interview. But basically, I pulled up to his house to do that one, and that shit went so viral for me. I know he just went viral again after like the little DP situation, but cool dude.
hmm
I got nothing bad to say about Crip Mac. The DP situation was kind of crazy, but I thought I had talked to a few of my Crip homies, and they were saying like, nah, they got respect for Crip Mac because a lot of niggas don't be pulling up to go get their DP. So he pulled up immediately and handled that situation. So shit.
Yeah,
Now
shout out Crip Mac, man. He going
I
up.
got tagged in some shit. Apparently, him and Blueface got a little issue or whatever, and they posted. I had a clip about Crip Mac talking about Blueface or whatever, but all that now that shit going viral again. I'm like, oh shit.
hmm Yeah,
But he a
yeah,
good
man.
dude for sure.
You did a lot of interviews, and just before we get up out of here, I want to let a lot of people know he interviewed Jay Stalin from the O West Oakland.
Yeah.
You just interviewed one of my favorite rappers out of San Diego, Oway. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
I
shout
didn't
out
even know he
Owen.
was out. Shout out
Yes,
Oway, man. O'Farrell Park. You know what I'm saying? The East.
yeah, that's
You
my guy.
obviously you know you done the Filthy Rich, D Steez from
Right.
Sac. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
D
Az
Steve, shout out D Steve.
Az Az Chike or Cheek or whatever. I don't know the Inglewood.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
how to say
Chike and
that.
Draco, Chike and Rucci.
Yeah. Of course, you already mentioned Uzi Marcus, DB the
Yeah,
General. You know what I'm saying? So, bounce back meet, stupid young
yeah,
situation. Like, you know, so if y'all want to check it out, man, the innovators, man, check him out. He done did Little Blood, Cash Click Bug. I just
yeah.
seen you did an interview with Weez Gotti. You know what I'm saying? Fulio.
Man, from the jail
And the
cell.
list
Shout
goes
out
on,
Weez
man.
Gotti. Free Weez Gotti, man.
Man, free Weez Gotti, man. We don't want nobody locked up. You feel me? So,
Straight up.
Fulio, Baby Rich. You know what I'm saying? The list go on, y'all, man. Hey, thanks for tapping in, bro. Innovator, man. To the E.B.H. Black Show with Powerball Rich, the co-host. We really appreciate you, man. And anytime if you welcome to get on here and talk to us. We like you said, we talk about life stuff, real life issues. You know what I'm saying?
Straight
Uh,
up. I love it.
Relationships, whatever the case may be, man. Trying to help the black people and not only just black people, all people as one unit, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about culture or race, you know what I'm saying? It's about being one entity under. Listen, the sky is blue, man. I'm from where the sky is blue, you know what I'm saying? So is you.
Yeah,
So color shouldn't matter, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
Straight up.
man, appreciate you stepping on here, dog, and on everything, man. Nothing but love, bro.
I appreciate you. It's been love. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.